Good morning, everyone. We start this day with a small thought of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The best brain of the nation may be found on the last benches of classroom. Dear children, all of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have equal opportunity to develop our talents. We start 8th standard science with the new topic atomic structure. Unit 12. Learning objectives. Understand advantages and limitations of Dalton's atomic theory. Distinguish the fundamental particles and their properties. Get an idea about Thomson's atom model and its limitations. Calculate the valencies of different elements. Write the chemical formula and molecular formula of compounds, balancing the chemical equations, and state the laws of chemical combination. In this lesson, we are going to study about atomic structure. I want to mention a small quote of Avayar in Tamil Ilakkiyam. அணுவை துளைத்து ஏழ் கடலை புகட்டி குருத்தரித்த குறள். To mention the validity of Kural, Avayar stated this. But what is this atom? Where it is? In our universe, you know already the existing elements. How many elements are there? 118 elements are there. Out of this 118 elements, the known elements that occur in nature are 92. 92 elements occur in nature. Example: copper, Ag silver, Au gold, Fe iron, like the way. Some elements, technetium, promethium, neptunium, plutonium, etc., they are synthesized in laboratory. They are prepared in laboratory. What are these elements made of? What is the minute and very similar particle present in these elements? Those are atom. The minute similar particles found in elements or atoms. For example, gold. We take gold. The atoms of gold are all similar in nature and very minute particles. So the name of this smallest particle is derived from the Greek word atoms. Tomos means divisible particles. What is atoms? Atoms means indivisible particle. For longer days, it was believed that atoms are not indivisible. But some scientists have proved that atoms also divisible. We will see the exploration of the scientists about these atoms one by one. For any things in the universe, we need some scientific proof. According to that, the atomic theory was first postulated by Dalton. His basic theory about matter is known as Dalton's atomic theory in the year 1808. Now we will discuss the main postulates of this atomic theory, its advantages and its limitations. Then he was followed by some other scientists like J.J. Thomson, Rutherford. We will see one by one. John Dalton proposed his atomic theory in 1803. He carefully recorded each day the temperature, pressure, and amount of rainfall from his youth till the end. He was a meticulous meteorologist. Okay, what are the advantages of Dalton's atomic theory? Basically, his theory is about matter. So, the first advantage is he explains most of the properties of gases and liquids. Second one, his theory explains law of chemical combination. How the compounds get combined, how the elements combine to form a chemical combination. Then conservation of mass. That is also law of conservation of mass. We will study about these two laws in our higher classes. Okay. The third advantage is recognize the molecular difference of elements and compounds. It helps to recognize the molecular difference of elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. So these are the main advantages of Dalton's atomic theory. His theory explains the properties of gases and liquids. It also explains the law of chemical combination and conservation of mass. Very important law that is to be explained. To recognize the molecular differences of elements and compounds. There are some limitations of Dalton's theory. He proved that atom is a smallest indivisible particle. But atom is no longer considered as indivisible particle. After his discovery, some other scientists proved that atoms can be divided. The next limitation is atoms of same element have different masses. He proved atoms of the element have a single mass, assigned mass. But it was proved after his discovery that atoms of same element have different masses. For example, hydrogen. Hydrogen can occur in three states. That is, hydrogen with the mass number 1 and mass number 2 and then with the mass number 3. This is known as protium. And this with the mass number 2 is known as deuterium. And the third one with the mass number 3 is known as tritium. This kind of existence of the same element with different atomic mass is known as isotopes. Third Step 1. Atoms of different elements have same masses. They are known as isobars. Bars. What are isobars? Atoms of different elements have same mass. For example, argon with the mass number 40 and atomic number 18. Potassium with the mass number 40, atomic number 19. And calcium with the mass number 40, atomic number 20. So when comparing these three elements having the same mass number is known as isobar. So this is the next limitation of Dalton's atomic theory, that is, atoms of different elements have same masses. The next one is substances made up of same kind of atoms have different properties. For example, coal, graphite, diamond. All these substances are made up of carbon. But each and every substance differ in its property. This is the biggest disadvantage of Dalton's theory. So we have the limitations. Atom is no longer indivisible. Atoms of same element have different masses, that is isotopes. Atoms of different elements have same masses, isobars. Atoms, the same kind of atoms may have different properties. Next about another scientist. In 1878, Sir William Crookes. In 1878, Sir William Crookes experimentally proved some invisible particles traveling between the metal electrodes. He found these as fundamental particles. Fundamental particles of atom. How did he prove that? He used a long glass tube known as Crookes tube. Next, it was known as cathode ray tube, CRT. The rays are known as cathode rays or Crookes rays. We will see what is this CRT or the cathode ray tube. This is a long glass tube with two electrodes. This is a long glass tube filled with gas and sealed at both ends. There are two metal plates which are acts as electrode. The both metal plates are connected to a high voltage source battery. The electrode which is connected to the smaller lid of the battery is known as cathode because it is negatively charged. And another electrode which is connected to the positive end of the battery is known as anode. Cathode and and this is anode. This is connected. The gas inside the tube can be managed with the help of a small vacuum pump. This is the pump to reduce the pressure of the gas inside the glass tube. Then, when electricity passes through the electrodes, certain visible rays travel in metal electrodes. What are found? Some rays are traveling between the electrodes. He named these rays as Crookes rays or cathode rays. What are these rays known as? Cathode rays or Crookes rays. From this experiment using the CRT tube, slowly the fundamental particles are named by various scientists. We will discuss it later. We conclude today's session with Dalton's atomic theory and the advantages of Dalton's atomic theory and its limitations, isotopes and isobars. Then with the CRT, Sir William Crookes CRT tube. You can do your assignment part now. Thank you.